For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
A letter has been written to tourism stakeholders on the island. I'll be going through it in just a moment. A police officer says that the authorities in St. Lucia, in particular the Ministry of Education, need to come up with a policy on bullying, and a whole lot more coming up on the broadcast between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon, as we welcome you to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. I'll be going through your calls in a bit at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. So, a letter has gone into circulation and in particular penned to stakeholders of the island's tourism industry. And this is coming on the heels of a revelation that we made on this broadcast on Tuesday of this week, talking about the resignation of the CEO of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. Dated June the 3rd, and it is signed by the chairman of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, Mr. Thaddeus Antoine. It reads, Dear stakeholders, this letter informs you that due to personal circumstances, Mrs. Lorraine Charles St. Jules' position as Chief Executive Officer of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority has ended, and that is effective the 31st of May 2024. The Board of Directors deeply appreciates Mrs. St. Jules' significant contributions to the Tourism Authority, which have been invaluable to our organization. We wish her every success and blessing in her future endeavors. The Board of Directors are in discussion on the way forward and the appointment of a successor so as to ensure a seamless transition and the continued success of the Tourism Authority and indeed the tourism industry of St. Lucia and its stakeholders. In the interim, the board has appointed Mrs. Anya Whitfield, who currently serves as the Chief Financial Officer, as the officer in charge to oversee the day-to-day operations and maintain effective management of the Tourism Authority. Should you have any inquiries, please do not hesitate to contact Mrs. Whitfield at the email address, etc., etc. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Signed by Mr. Thaddeus M. Antoine, who is the chairman of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. Dated June the 3rd, once again, a letter to tourism stakeholders on the island informing that under personal circumstances, Mrs. Lorraine Charles St. Jules, position as a Chief Executive Officer of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, has ended effective the 31st of May, 2024. So we'd like to wish her all the best and like to stress that she resigned. She was not pushed. She did not jump. She resigned for personal reasons. So why did it take so long for the Tourism Authority to issue a press release? Well, they didn't even issue a press release, as a matter of fact. Okay, that's an error on my part. They're saying that the press release was issued. A letter was written to stakeholders. So the government of St. Lucia, again, not forthcoming with information regarding certain appointments, and even when people resign, it does not see the necessity to issue press releases. But in the meantime, we have so many PR people joining the government of St. Lucia, or the payroll of the government of St. Lucia in particular, the office of the Prime Minister. So you can easily detect that PR people are being appointed. It's not to inform you. It is basically to strategize as to how to keep you in the dark, how not to inform you of certain decisions that are taken in your name and certain things that are done within the operations of the government that you should be aware of. A simple thing. Our vital tourism industry, the CEO of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, resigns. By the next day, issue a press release, inform the people of St. Lucia that this individual has resigned. We don't want to know why, if it's not necessary. In this particular instance, I don't think it is necessary. But inform the people of St. Lucia, because people will be of the mindset that Mrs. St. Jules is still the head of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. Stop keeping people in the dark. It's not the case, it's not their business. On such occasions, it is their business. They need to know. And even when this was released on NewsSpin, instead of issuing a press release, a letter was written to stakeholders. And you know who the stakeholders are. People who own hotels and restaurants, people who are part of the hospitality sector, etc. You, the ordinary individual from Marcia and from Ancillary and from Dennery and from Gros Delay, you're not seen as a stakeholder. Why are you? You're not a stakeholder. You're not a stakeholder. But anyway, I'm sure maybe before the end of this week, maybe by tomorrow, maybe next week, the folks in the office of the Prime Minister, I could think, 3, 4 PR people in the office of the Prime Minister will inform you of that resignation from the post of Chief Executive Officer of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority. The John Compton Dam is at full capacity, and that is due to recent downpours. However, the water emergency remains in effect, as other water catchments in the north and south are not at full capacity. And we have a report, borrowed this report from Miriam Montoute of DBS television. Now, I hope that the fact that, there's some improvement in the availability of water or improvement at the John Compton Dam, that WASCO will not become complacent. And when people inform WASCO that there's a damaged main, there's a ruptured pipe somewhere, and water is wasting, it does not cause WASCO again to be in the same mindset, that same attitude of the culture. Do not respond in a timely manner. And a timely manner is what? A few minutes. This is precious, a precious commodity. After all, WASCO, you have been maybe glibly just saying to us that water is life. Your action or your actions do not give us the impression that you're taking this seriously. You are informed that the pipe has ruptured, water is wasting somewhere, etc. You move as quickly as possible to address this problem. Otherwise, when there is a so-called water emergency, we have every reason to say to you that you have a hand in this. You are partly responsible for that problem that we're experiencing. Otherwise, you would have seen the necessity to conserve water as well, because you're asking us to do something that you're not doing. Okay? You are preaching something to us, but yet still you're not living by it. You know what they say? Do as I say, but not as I do. Let's listen to Miriam report with Miriam Motut with that report which was filed and aired during the DBS News World last evening.
The Water and Sewage Company has received some welcome rains amidst the ongoing water-related emergency, which was announced in May 2024. The company says there has been a marginal increase in rural systems. Further, it says that the John Compton Dam is currently overflowing. However, Andy Anthony, WASCO's Chief Operation Officer, says the island is not out of the woods yet. Therefore, he says the water-related emergency remains in effect.
We would still like the general public to conserve water. Okay, the aquifers have not yet charged, so the rains have not created the effect that we would like. So we need to continue. Well, we would prefer, or we'd be happy to have more rain still. You would also realize that the small intakes, apart from JCD, the river flows are not higher. So that's a sign that the aquifers are not yet charged. So you still need to conserve water. We are still in a drought-related emergency, and we need to be cognizant of the way we utilize our water sources.
He says the most affected systems are the Hill 20 system and smaller water sources in Micoud, Tukusaw, Deriso, and certain areas in Choiseul and Saltibus. He adds that water trucking remains available.
We had a lot of overland flow, so our aquifers are not really charged as yet. Hence the reason why a lot of our rural systems are still not performing as well. Even some of our larger systems are still not performing as well as expected. The rains need to continue. So even though we have received some heavy rains, it needs to continue.
WASCO says its treatment plant continues to operate at full capacity to handle the increased loads and maintain stringent water quality standards. Further, the company says, in light of these circumstances, a community sharing regimen continues to remain in effect for residents in some sections of the northern and southern zones and will continue until the supply has been sufficiently replenished. As the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season progresses, consumers who are now receiving a more regular supply of water are strongly urged to practice conservation measures in order to manage their water supply amid the changing conditions. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montut reporting.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for that report. It was filed last evening during the DBS News World, and we hope that the situation will continue to improve so that the water emergency can be lifted and those who are seriously impacted can get some kind of relief. Your calls right now at 2979-452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls. Keep saying Wasco calls, you know. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Coming up on the broadcast, the word Philip, F-I-L-L-I-P. We'll expound on it in an entertainment manner. Kimani, what is in the chat room? While we await your calls once again.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
In the chat room, someone says the government organizations are behaving like the political dictatorate did nothing. Nothing is the business of the people. We must pay our taxes and keep quiet. Someone says, what? Anya Whitfield in charge of our tourism agency? We are joking. SLP borrows money in your name and your future generations that do nothing for you. St. Lucians, you better be starting something and stand up for something. You will have regrets if you don't. More in the chat room, someone says, tell this man to not talk about Chosel. Since when we're getting water? Give me a break. Water is rationed all year on. Another comment, we are still in a drought-related emergency, but yet we have water overflowing that residents paying for their water and can't use it to carry on with their constructions, washing their vehicles, water their plants, /crops, etc., etc. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, is that wasted water rolled over to our bills, Wasco, asking for more Kool-Aid? Let us get out of the box and start thinking. Another comment, the group of PR operators in the PM's office being paid by us, the people, is to secure the victory. That's it for me, Tim.
Well, you missed one. If water is life, then Wasco is a serial killer.
I
in the chat
definitely
room.
missed this one. I didn't see
If
it.
water is life, Mr. Technical Producer, you listening? You in Makulid without water. You listening? You in Dennery? Maybe you don't have water in North Cap Estate, etc. If water is life, that's the quote of the day. If water is life, then Wasco is a serial killer. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let me see if I have some messages while we are awaiting your call.
Says, I'm waiting for my check, Tim and Kimani. I heard people are getting paid for calling the talk shows. Do we have those checks available, Tim?
Not NewsSpin, because I'm telling you that if people are being paid to call this broadcast, I don't think that there's any agency, any entity who can afford to pay those people because of the number of calls that we have to this program and the number of people who are saying that they cannot get the line. So maybe I'm paying some people, who knows?
The ones that do get the line?
How much do you think we're paying per call?
Maybe $300 EC dollars.
Oh my God, that's a lot of money. That means we have some CIP funds.
We have more than CIP funds
at our disposal, which we don't. By the way, we don't have any CIP funds at our disposal. Somebody says, Tim, this is Ticono development. This has been there for over 6 months, reported to Wasco. They marked the area and never returned. Let me see. Okay, so I'll be forwarding this to the technical producer in just a moment. So stand by. You will be getting this in momentarily, sir. So just wait. In the meantime, Kimani, I don't know if you have any messages you want to go through. If you have any, none?
None from me.
Okay, none from you. Okay. So, Mr. Technical Producer, I'm sending you this video. Okay? So as soon as you get it, we will put it on the screen. That those of you who are watching the broadcast via Facebook and the YouTube channel, you can definitely relate to it. What is happening over in Ticolo, again, the wastage of water. Somebody says that, Tim, is Wasco saying that the capacity of the dam is what it can hold, including the silt? I was thinking it was the design capacity. Tell Wasco that the dam is full, not at full capacity. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Tim, can processes qualify as personal reasons. No, those are two different. The old courthouse building is demolished. We might just hear from the St. Lucia National Trust on this. Maybe, just maybe. Tim, there is a law in on our books that gives any police in uniform can kill and stray animals on our public roads. I think that's a statement the person is making there. And let's see there. Okay. Remember, the number to call is 452-2979. That's 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. That's 716-2026. All right, some other things to share with you at this point in time. Something that we just glossed over it, and we saw it as comic relief. I'll turn my attention to it in just a moment, but we have a WhatsApp message. Tim, if the water bill is on your name, which means the water is yours, how can the management of Vasco tell you what to do with your property? Shaking my head. Well, it is for the good of the entire country that a water emergency would have been put into effect sometime last month. So if, as much as you're paying for a commodity that you consider to be your right, if you engage in wastage, if you misuse it, and it can impact the wider St. Lucian society, that's where the state has the right to intervene. You have your vehicle, it is yours, but the state can decide at what speed you drive that vehicle, because if you overspeed, you could end up being reckless, and you can also result in finding yourself in some kind of crash or collision whereby somebody can be injured, or worst case scenario, somebody can lose their life. So that is why the state has that responsibility from time to time to determine whatever action that you take, as much as you can determine to be your personal right and privilege, that if it is detrimental to the wider society, then definitely the state can intervene, and it can determine how you conduct yourself. All right, 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and your messages. So we're talking about something that we might have just glossed over, we saw as comic relief, only that it is very serious. And I think sometimes what we do as citizens, sometimes we're in a state of shock. And, instead of focusing on the gravity of that particular issue, we see the humor in it. And I'm referring that to the invasion of the grounds of the St. Jude Hospital and the invasion of some of the wards, the inner part of that health institution, by goats and even dogs. Nancy Charles of the Opposition United Workers' Party did focus on this morning during the Rev St. Lucia program, Meet the Opposition. And let's just listen and watch.
I'm from Viewfort. I didn't see them myself, but when I saw the videos of the goats inside St. Jude's Hospital, I said to myself, "Well, Messi, you're really doing things. That's Photoshop. That can't be real. That can't be true." You understand? Because in my mind, I don't want, and contrary to what the Prime Minister says that we want bad, I don't want bad for my country. I go to St. Jude's when I am sick. My son goes to St. Jude's when he is not well. So you think I want bad for St. Lucia? I would not bad. So when I saw the videos, Andrea, I was like, "Mama, I'm from Viewfort. I didn't see them myself, but when I saw the videos of the goats inside St. Jude's Hospital, I said to myself, "Well, Messi, you're really doing things. That's Photoshop. That can't be real. That can't be true." You understand? Because in my mind, I don't want, and contrary to what the Minister says that we want bad, I don't want bad for my country. I go to St. Jude's when I am sick. My son goes to St. Jude's when he is not well. So you think I want bad for St. Lucia? I would not bad. So when I saw the videos, Andrea, I was like, "Mama."
That's Nancy Charles of the opposition United Workers' Party. You know, the things that we tend to laugh at and we see the humor, but there's certain things that really should, to really cause us to stop and watch and listen and ponder and take those things seriously. The grounds of a health institution being invaded by cattle. You know, the inner sanctum of that same health institution, you're talking about the inside of the building, taken over by goats. And this is not a skit, this is not comedy, this is real. And that is all the reason why we hope that this administration will fulfill its campaign promise and complete the St. Jude Hospital. I could just imagine that, a few years ago, if this had happened, certain individuals, certain organizations would have mounted some kind of campaign, some kind of demonstration. They would have taken to their favorite talk shows on radio, on television, and complain. And not a word from certain key individuals in the south of the island, including the MP for V4 South, and that is Dr. Kenny Anthony. But this is clearly a shame. And I believe that some of the people who are taking this seriously would be St. Lucians who are in the diaspora, those people who are overseas and who are watching, and maybe they're watching those videos with disbelief. They cannot imagine, they cannot understand that this is what is actually happening at one of our main health institutions, where they would have sought medical treatment and medical attention, their parents, friends, relatives, etc., to see that this is what it is being subjected to right now. So we have the video. Somebody says that via WhatsApp. This is Poleon development. This has been there for over 6 months. Reported to Wasco, and we'll show the video. Reported to Wasco, they came, marked the area, and never returned. Tim, this is Poleon development. This has been there for over 6 months. Reported to Wasco, they came, marked the area, and never returned. Water is wasting and wasting and wasting there for over 6 months. Reported to Wasco, and they have not seen the necessity, even in this water emergency situation, they have not seen the necessity to come in to fix that problem. Just believe what you are seeing right now, whether you're watching via the NewsSpin Facebook page or the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Wasco all over again. So where is the legitimacy on the part of Wasco to be saying to people that you should conserve water? They're saying to those people who have businesses, car wash businesses, those people who are in the construction sector and they have to engage in a mixing of concrete and the block making, that they have to be deprived of a living. And all this time, Wasco is one of the biggest culprits in terms of the wastage of that precious commodity on the island. What is your excuse, Wasco? How can you defend this? This has been happening in the Poleon development area over the past 6 months. Kimani, the chat room, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026.
In the chat room, someone says, but animals see this place is abandoned. Another comment, why is when these reports hit NewsSpin, they address and fix these issues? Someone says, sad, sad, sad for St. Lucia. Tim, what about the Minister of Health who was so vocal and loud in opposition? Where is he now? Someone says, KDA is busy trying to make Invader win some money from Shas. If you think it's that he'll be worried about. Someone says, happy heavenly 60th birthday to Norbert Williams.
That's the deceased Norbert Williams. He would have been 60 today.
Wow. Another comment, everyone should watch the Tucker Carlson interview with the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. He offered some great insight on how third world countries can help tackle the crime problem.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah,
Good afternoon to you, caller.
yeah. Timothy Poleon, my boy.
Yes, good afternoon to you, sir. You are on the air.
Good. Let me tell you, it is bad enough when we have water wasting from the raw supply. Okay?
Yeah.
But when you have treated water wasting there like that, the person who said serial killer, they are not yet. That's like serial killer because you know the importance of water. He said 3 or 6 months.
Yes.
That thing has been leaking there. You know how many gallons of water that's been wasted there? Try filling up a tank while there's a leak. You know how much time that tank will ever take to fill? It'll take longer because water is seeping out from it. And as I'm saying, it is treated water. That is more expensive, than the raw water supply, which is being leaked out. The raw water supply have not been treated. It is raw supply, and it's bad enough. When you have treated water leaking there, it costs the company money. It looks like Wasco complaining they don't have enough money, but they're wasting money, so something is wrong. What do you say about that, Tim?
Well, I've spoken about it, caller, because what is happening there, it's blatant disregard of that water emergency that we've heard from the Water and Sewage Company. The video is there. It is plain to see that the water is wasting. And according to the information that I received, this has been the situation for over 6 months.
And Tim, this is only one place.
Yeah.
If you have to go around and get a few videos, you will not even have time on your show to show them treated water. I'm not even talking about raw supply, treated water. Tim, this is preposterous. This is ridiculous. They haven't got a heart, and they're telling people to conserve, and they're wasting more water than the regular people. You understand? This cannot be right, Tim. This cannot be right. And people are not going to demonstrate. People are not going to get mad about it. They're just going to sit back because some of them have the tank. They don't care if the others don't have the tank. That can't be right. It have to be done with these Wasco officials because they don't care. They already have the water supply at their home. Those people along in Sozel and other places that have been suffering for no water. Then you talk about the dam is full. It's full 3 quarters of silt and 1 quarter of water. Because I understand that they stopped the silting. When are they going to start the silting? Have anybody come out and talk about that? Eh?
I've not heard anything from the authorities to indicate when they will recommence that initiative.
You see the problem? It's just like you're getting paid for a job. You go and ask for cuts or something for a loan. They don't care about that. They want to know when.
Yeah.
Now we want to know when. They talk about the rural intakes. I have given them plans and things for them to do, but I'm no longer there anymore. If they had even listened or tried one of them, because Wasco must understand whether it's Wasco or Wasa who is there, they must understand every year we have a drought period. So they're doing the same thing every year and get a different result. That's a definition for madness.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot expect to do the same thing every year and everybody running hole in their head. That ain't making no sense, because these whole lot of people at the top, they should be dismissed because they are doing anything. They're quick to dismiss the young fellas who do this or do that. But this, what they're doing there, has no conscience because you're doing the same thing every year. The powers that be, they know exactly what's going on. I don't want to, I can talk and I don't want to put nobody in problem. They know what they have to do. They just don't care. But if you cared, you would change, you do something different. You wouldn't stay on the same ball, and at the end of the day, you're crying foul every year. They're making no sense at all. I don't know. I tell you, if the people do not vote about that and they continue that, I will do what I need to do to take care of myself and to help the rest. Because if they know they're pinching, but they prefer to suffer in silence. That's the length and breadth for my call, my bro. You take it easy.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. We are all complaining about the situation, but I don't think that Wasco, the officials there, feel compelled to do anything that is drastic about that situation. And we're talking about the perennial issue of water wasting. People are complaining. People are reporting those faults. And yet still, WASCO is not doing anything about it. Now, if you are from, let's say, Ticolon or some community, and you realize that this has happened, and you call a WASCO official to complain and to report, and you see nothing is happening, it's as if you are being taken for granted. It's as if you are wasting your time. It's as if you are not being taken seriously. What is the problem? What is the reason why WASCO has failed perennially to respond to such instances where you have water wasting from a damaged pipe, a damaged main? What is preventing them from responding within a reasonable period? I think that's an easy question. I think we have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon, Makulid.
Tim,
oui.
Situation do a même manière, Tim. Yo souhait, WASCO va monter à l'eau 11h souhait. Bon, 11h souhait, c'est là mon gars dormir à Rabanne, comment? So, moi, plein yon débat. Qui va monter pour laver, moi, les café 2h, 3h matin, il dormir à Rabanne, puis moi, t'es dans salle là pour laver. So, WASCO moi a dou c'est là moi à boutique à quitter tiède l'eau dit dans citerne pour 2 jours 3 jours et qu'on prend bill quoi ba ou yo fait moi fait $143 après pas tenir l'eau hein and $43 at 51 cents lundi moi paye et tout hier moi souka couiller yo pour moi tiède l'eau puisque c'est embarrasser la vie moun. So, ma faut comprendre qui m'en est WASCO ni travail de l'eau. Tant que le plein de l'eau, l'application fini, par quitter de l'eau en citerne pour moun faire ça faire yo. C'est bêtise ça, par aller et puis maladie. Si la bataille de l'eau encore, tant que de l'eau, puis tant que plein. Et l'application B, samedi au voie, l'eau a été sale tellement, parce que ça va avec torchon et puis. Mais si ça a été sale.
Mais ça n'est pas dit d'ailleurs,
oui, moi, ça fait travail, yo manière yo supposé faire team. C'est pour que là c'est travail, là moi bout de là rien c'est pas mêler puis pièce pratique qui capé, pièce custom capé bilio yo pas mêler ça. Là nous jeune, là pas jeune ça fait quoi. Et ça moi dit moi du team.
Okay, so ou ka handle tout à l'heure.
Moi yo ba moi du yo soit 11h.
Okay.
Moi dormi minute et demi. 11h soit mon jeune ni ba moi et qui apprend de l'eau bon matin on va attendre.
Oui. Wow. Okay.
Yes, I think.
All right. Merci beaucoup. Okay, merci beaucoup.
Yes.
All right.
Bonjour pour
Bonjour.
Kimani, what's in the chat room? Bye-bye.
At this time, Makulate WASCO giving water for Gashi. Someone else in the chat says, people in the community paying for pipes that burst. Someone says, WASCO is an embarrassment to the country and its citizen. Another comment, this is not only WASCO's problem, it's the responsibility of the Ministry of Infrastructure. WASCO can make more money if they put out a service in the summer to pump tires with air. Tim, so why is it that WASCO is billing us and the pipes or the taps are dry? The question is, who will charge WASCO for water wastage? And another comment, WASCO is killing us, Tim. Here is one. If water is life, why treat it? Someone says, is the water emergency there for the cruise ships and hotels? Because a lot of wastage is happening there. That will do it for the Facebook comments. A YouTube comment, someone says, Tim, do we still have a special prosecutor, a staffed office? Is the office still being paid? Do we still have a DPP? Someone says WASCO needs to go to jail. Again, via YouTube, why some people paying a fixed price for water and others are measured and is the same meter we are all using? Someone says, "Hi TP, good afternoon. Trying to view your program when I'm off work. I'm a St. Lucian living in the diaspora, UK. Hospital and it's designed like a box. Sad to see goats at St. Jude Hospital. Shame."
But imagine a relative of mine sent me a WhatsApp message, right? So let me try to access that message because I find it very funny. He says that Tim, the goats were seeking shelter from the rain. This is the only reason why the goats came there. But I understand that should not have happened. What exactly are you saying, cuz? What exactly are you saying? Because you just want to make an excuse, you know? The goats were seeking shelter from the rain. This is the only reason why the goats came there. But I understand that should not have happened. Boy. Still to come in the broadcast. Some more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages. And we explain, playing on the word Philip, F-I-L-L.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. We were called to serve. We were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and country. That is why we support all industries. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucelec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
When you feel the music sweet, KFC on the road, give the beat. Pricing your hand, go best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy food for the road for only $30. You get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC food for the road.
It's finger licking good.
44 million fans, 11 players, 1 flow. Bleeding we colors, celebrating we greatness. With every 6, every wicket, every moment of glory, we show the world what we made of. Wherever it's played, Flow is proud to be a part of it. Join we Bacchanal. Feel we energy. This is we game. Visit discoverflow.co. Flow, official telecom supporter of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
Night Meds. It's your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on speedy, efficient service. We have a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very your pressure testing, blood sugar, and test. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
For 100 years, Metabo, made and engineered in Germany and distributed by Europa Hardware, has been at the forefront of innovation, delivering quality tools trusted by professionals worldwide. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Here's to the next 100 years of excellence. Metabo, distributed by Europa Hardware, building our world together. For the month of June, get an automatic discount when you purchase any Metabo machine. Come to Europa first. We service what we sell.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a tropical solar water heater. We offer a variety of sizes for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what we have for you. In Beaufort, 454-6. Castries 453-1868 or Grosley 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
The Royal St. Lucia Police and Allied Services Cooperative Credit Union Limited is excited to announce our new water tank loan promotion, Glow Go Low. Now you can borrow up to $5,000 for water tanks and pumps. Plus, enjoy 10% discount on all water tanks purchased from Bryce & Company Limited. To schedule your loan appointment, call us today at 45-22105 or 45-36735. Terms and conditions.
In the heart of the Eastern Caribbean, a revolution in healthcare has arrived. La Clinique de Corps introduces the gold standard Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine, the only clinic in St. Lucia and the Eastern Caribbean with this advanced, safe, radiation-free system. Harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, cutting-edge imaging technology, and expert radiologists, the Signa Prime delivers fast, high-quality images for more accurate cancer diagnoses, a leading cause of death in the region. From brain to lung, prostate to pancreas, heart, and so much, this advancement aids in the detection of various types of cancer, offering hope and solutions they're needed most. La Clinique de Corps, everyone deserves best in her. Save time and money traveling overseas and schedule your MRI with La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 to make your appointment today. Flexible financing options are available for all patients who qualify.
Regarding the goats entering the premises of the St. Jude Hospital, somebody says these goats always there on the tracks due to the gate being left open. Cows, mosquitoes, rats, and the smell of the septic tank is unbearable to inhale at this facility. Let us take a call as we say hello. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon. Back on Wasco's case. Well, honestly, I don't have a problem when you call Wasco, where I'm living. It takes time, but most of the times I call, they would come. Sometimes they would take a lot of time. The problem with Wasco that you have an incompetent person that is in charge, has no practical plumbing experience or techniques, is who know you that is suited for the job. Right? And I've repeated over and over, time and time again, and I'll continue to repeat it. Right? They should employ a special team, right, on contract to go around and to thread as many ends of the pipe as possible, of the PVC pipes as possible. Because that is one way that you are going to save water. Right? And if they do that, well, you will hardly get a burst pipes. I can remember during the days of galvanized pipe, the only time you would get a burst galvanized pipe is when the pipe is rotten, right? But the PVC pipe is a lot better now, so you can thread it. They have threaded PVC pipes almost everywhere, and I got threaded PVC pipes for over 20 years. Never been busted. There's a certain spot the pipe have been bursting in that area for over 20 years. And I'm sure if Wasco had fed wherever that pipe has been busted, I'm sure if Wasco had fed that pipe, I'm sure you wouldn't have this problem no more. And I've been saying time and time again with Wasco, right? You have the set, you know what I'm talking about. Go about, start threading the PVC pipes, and it's going to save you a lot of water and a lot of expense. Have a good afternoon.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, as usual, for your contribution. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says there, they might want to know why some people paying a fixed price for water and some are measured. Continues, the goats are loyal. They went to see their owner, who was a patient there. Person is being comical there. Another one says, Tim, I believe that the goats had a doctor's appointment. You guys are too funny. That is very serious stuff we are discussing there. Another WhatsApp message, it was not a goat invasion. It's part of the new universal health care. Goat yoga therapy. Kimani?
If I knew you would be catching kicks on this situation, I would have read the comments in the chat. In the chat, someone says, Tim, I think Wasco makes us pay extra money for the new location they are in right now in View Fort. I get a bill for $186. So the question is, where was the security when the goats came seeking shelter? Tim, the only time those heads of department and managers have solutions is when they are in opposition or not given the job. Another comment, the powers that be allows Wasco and other companies to operate lackadaisically while the regular blue-collar men and women suffer for their inadequacies. Let's see what we have on NewsSpin. On the NewsSpin YouTube page. Well, no comments there, but that's it for me on the Facebook page.
WhatsApp message, somebody says, treated water? What treated water? I couldn't even wash my dirty laundry in Wasco's water. Mem. And some more. Tim, London Road in Deriso have their own tank, so why we don't have water from yesterday? Another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello?
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world.
Good afternoon.
PW on the line, Timothy. Timothy, let us look into the mirror of stray animals, Timothy. As you know, the citizens of this country has to clearly put the blame on the government of St. Lucia when it comes to stray animals, Timothy. We all know, Timothy, by the turn of the 19th century, since the year 1800, Timothy, people have identified their cattle or their goats by being branded, Timothy. By being branded with a steel tag, a hot steel tag on it. We are in the year 2004, and this government cannot get a hold of controlling stray animals. The government has enough areas in St. Lucia. They can create a bond. They can create a special area to keep these stray animals that do not belong to any owners out there or any owners who refuse to claim these animals, Timothy. We need to create a database of every single livestock farmer in St. Lucia. And when you create that database, Timothy, you can either give these livestock owners seals or tags to place on the ears of their livestock, Timothy, with a number on it. When these animals go astray, you identify the tag and the number, and the Ministry of Agriculture has the name of the livestock herder or the livestock owner, and it can be quickly traced to a particular livestock owner, Timothy. We will not blame the government of St. Lucia for the goats coming into the hospital, Timothy. I will not blame the government for this. I go to the Victoria Hospital. There's a gate and the security guards. They ask me, where am I going? What's my concern? Wear a mask. I go to the Millennium Heights Hospital. The same thing. The security at the door, he asked me, wear a mask, where I'm going. And then he permits me to come, to go into the hospital. Where is the security when it comes to that hospital? Where's the security? These goats were not supposed to enter that hospital. It lacks security at the hospital. I can imagine if somebody is being shot and somebody's after them to make sure that they are taken out and enter the hospital. Where are the security in the hospital? The security guards. It means that any goats can enter a hospital. It means that anybody can enter the hospital to take out anybody, Timothy. This must not happen at our hospital. We must have the best security at the hospital. I blame the security officers at the hospital, and the government need to tag these cows, and those that are not tagged, put into an area where these cows can be sold because they do not have owners, Timothy. That is the way to go ahead with the stray animals. When this happens, the livestock owners will take account of what is happening, and they will put their livestock in a confined area where their livestock are protected. Timothy, this country needs to wake up, and the government needs to do something about the stray animals, not just cows and goats, but dogs in this country, to keep them safe from, causing harm and injury to people. And then this government needs to take a stand, a severe stand on livestock owners in this country as well. Timothy, I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message reads, I just drove past the old Golden Hope Hospital at Latok. There's a lot of clearing of weed and overgrown grass and shrub. Do you know what's happening to these buildings? Well, I do not know. Maybe somebody who has some information, they can share it with the wider audience by calling this broadcast. We have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Somebody says that, yes, dogs and crabs as well. I can't sit at the East Wing entrance, especially when it's raining. The smell of the dogs that lay down there sleeping around cats as well. The security went to fetch crabs because the salary isn't cutting the high cost of living.
Someone says security was off that night. They had no water to bathe. Oh, my goodness.
Any more? You have any WhatsApp messages to go through?
Someone says they need to find butchers and start selling beef cheap since these cows have no owners. Another comment, someone says, we're hungry, so look meat. If I was there, I was taking some meat. Someone says the goat started the protest we St. Lucians are afraid of doing. Someone says PW, only one man owns all these animals in shock, and it's only when SLP is in power these animals roam that way.
No, that is not true. Administration after administration, they have failed to ensure that this individual does not allow his cattle to roam freely in that shock area. I mean, it's even sometimes on the grounds, very often, on the grounds of Mega J. On afternoons and on mornings and on evenings. I don't know. I just don't understand why this is permitted to happen. This has been permitted to happen for so long in St. Lucia. I just don't understand it. Administration after administration, they have turned a blind eye to this problem, even when the evidence is clear that it should not be tolerated. People can lose their lives in the process when vehicles come into contact with the cattle. Why? What? You know, because there are instances where politicians say, those in authority say, we can't do anything about it. It is beyond us. People believe that you can easily address the crime problem. It's our business. The cattle, the problem is our business. All of us should come in to address that particular issue. Or it's something for the Ministry of Agriculture or for the government or some state-owned institution to just say, hey, I will tackle it once and for all. It is an eyesore. We need to address it. I just don't get it.
Someone else in the chat says, Tim, the dogs were smart. They were just resting in the entrance and minding their business. When PW is making that statement, the main idea is Timothy, LOL.
Tim, let Wasco know Bellevue in Grosile has not had water for over a month now. It's shocking, but it is true. Let Wasco know Bellevue in Grosile, that community has not had water for over a month now. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
You know, I heard PW talks about about security needs to be blamed at the George Odlum Stadium. Tim, if you know that stadium well, you will know exactly the way it's shaped, the perimeter of that area. It's a very wide area, Tim. It's a place, you know, like you pass at the round of the stadium, there is no entrance gate. The only gate they have is if you go to the field area part. But the area where the ambulance come in, the emergency section, where you enter to the hospital, there's no gate there. That's just a wide space. That's just wide open. The only thing, I think it have a door, whatever, they close when it's raining. But then it doesn't have anything to prevent. I don't believe any security could have prevented those animals from coming to the stadium. You understand what I'm saying? And because what is happening is that area itself is an area that have a lot of cows in. A lot. Imagine the day before yesterday, I nearly get contact with 4 of them. You see where they put the pedestrian crossing to go to the stadium? On the main highway.
Yeah.
You know where that pedestrian crossing is?
I know where, I know. What is happening in the vicinity there?
Hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you, caller. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. You're on the air. You still there?
Yeah, I'm there. I was just, you know where the pedestrian crossing is, where you go to the stadium.
And I answered you, yes, I know.
I remember there was an incident where an elderly person was killed in that area there. That area is an area that have a lot of cow coming from the bush and just cross to the stadium. Now, no security cannot prevent animals from entering to the stadium. And I believe that is, if PW know the place well, he would not blame security for animals to enter into the place was not designed completely for a hospital. It was not designed for that. But it was there just, after the fire, they just using it for emergency sake. But that's not the right place for a hospital. So I guess by now the government should be more speedily and give the people a hospital for sure. Where the yard will be fenced, it will have a gate entrance, an animal will not be able to get inside there. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I got an answer to a request. A question was asked earlier on. The area by the old Latoc, the mental health institution at Latoc, that has been cleared of grass and shrub, etc. I've got an answer for you. It's credible. I will share that information in just a moment. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. It is aired on Power 97.9 FM, also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the YouTube channel.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. with Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote option serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-67-859, 285-3593, 285-3329 or 285-8640, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
44 million fans, 11 players, 1 flow. Bleeding we colors, celebrating we greatness. With every 6, every wicket, every moment of glory, we show the world what we made of. Wherever it's played, Flow is proud to be a part of it. Join We Bacchanal. Fiji is we. Visit discoverflow.co. Flow, official telecom supporter of the ICC Men's World Cup.
The new home of the best country music is Power 97.9 FM.
Say the stars are bound to fade.
Switch us on Join Me, DJ Jerry, this and every Thursday from 8 p.m. till midnight for Country Gold, the best in country music.
Your bags are packed and waiting.
The new, the oldies, and the goldies. So let's make it a date, this and every Thursday with me, DJ Jerry, from 8 p.m. till midnight for Country Gold. If it's Thursday, it's Country Gold Thursday. Country Gold, only on Power 97.9 FM.
Rewarding life, good wife.
So you're waiting patiently to find out to what use will the old site of the Golden Hospital be put at the Talk. You really want to find out? You folks in the office of the Prime Minister, are you monitoring right now? Folks in the Ministry of Physical Planning, are you monitoring? The MP for Castries South, Dr. Ernest Ile, are you monitoring? Well, the information is that a national museum will be located there at Le Talk. Yes, a national museum will be located on the old site of the Golden River Hospital at Le Talk. A national museum will be located there. More information will be shared with you in the days and weeks ahead. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Tim, good day.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, good day. Tim, my concern and my issue right now, presently, is the traffic on the Grosley Road, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
We're about 1 week from a major World Cricket. And even without cricket, we all know what the situation is on that highway. You know, Tim, I said about a year ago, or probably even 2 years ago, that some consideration should have been given to a roundabout. And the only place I saw fitting at the time was right directly in front of the Bois de Rouge, the new mall. That's the only place that can accommodate in my view, a roundabout. And surprised to say, no, nothing happened. They brought the wall of that. Look at parking that place up. Now, considering that was government property, Tim, what an opportunity we had to park that fence, that wall, perimeter fence of the mall, 4 feet inside, Tim, and use the space of the road and do a proper roundabout there. But what happened? Nothing happened. So the new infrastructure minister and his workers, his colleagues, came up with a plan that they are going to put 2 mini roundabouts. We have seen one, and they had better not even try to construct the other one, because that makes no sense whatsoever. We have seen one roundabout. People criticize it, people don't even know it's there, the mini roundabout. So they have forgotten, I suppose, about the second one. Tim, traffic, it just took me 40 minutes between 1 o'clock and 1:30 to drive to Grosley, to reach Rodney Bay.
So
and there's still traffic ahead of me.
A good thing you had NewsSpin for company on your way there.
Yeah, well, that's the only source of relief I have been listening to NewsSpin. Tim, let me tell you, that's ridiculous. What is wrong with Rodney Bay Road? Why isn't the government accounting to the people? We are going into a 4th December, Tim, with that road. What is wrong with Grosley people and Rodney Bay people? People can afford to stay in traffic that length of time in that heat.
I think most people have AC in their vehicle, caller.
Tim, well, let them pay for fuel. It costs whatever you happen. It pays for fuel, you know, Tim.
Yeah.
Whether you burn AC or whether you choke in your hot vehicle, you pay. Nobody gives an account of nothing in that place. Everything is okay. If the government has a problem with Fresh Start, pay the guys off. I'm understanding they have to pay the guys $20 million for a $15 million contract. You see what it costs us? The arrogance of a few ministers. You see what it costs us? $5 more million. And the road is still incomplete. So now we have to pay another $20 million again. So that road will cost us $40 million, a $15 million road. You see how smart we are? Meanwhile, no accountability. The MP for Grosley, I don't think he have ever spoken about that. Mr. King, I don't think he have ever spoken about that. Where are we going? Where are we going in this country? What are we doing? Tim, have a good day. Have a nice day.
You too, sir. And thank you so much for calling. Kimani, your turn. What's happening in the chat room?
Tim, I would like you to play that song, The New Driver Cannot Drive. Well, The New Drive Cannot Drive. That's what the message says. I have so many questions about this National Museum as a lover of history, but let's see how this plays out. National Trust, that's your gift in exchange for Pigeon Point. Tim, how many gallons of water wasted in the streets? Wasco cannot fix that. What Wasco do with their monies? And Philip J. Pierre's budget didn't even include Wasco. Someone else says, in Jamaica, goats are roaming all over the streets far and beyond, then they return home. The goats need peace and not getting none under that administration. They're feeling the madness. Crime prevention and disabilities take over that cattle issue. That's one of the reasons why Shas was voted out. He was working on removing the cows on the streets. Someone says, Wasco must go. The agenda is to waste water, then build a public for water wasted. Tim, let the government know that some people have not received their pension for 3 months yet. Someone says, what do people do when there is not water for so long? I'm not sure tanks will have water for so long. Another comment, this time via YouTube. Someone says, these goats must have been cabinet taking a tour of St. Jude, hence why the security did not stop them. Let's see what else we have in the chat. Get it right. It's $24 million for Fresh Start. That's it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much. Somebody just sent me a photograph of a vehicle that was damaged because it got into contact with cattle. Don't know where exactly, but we'll try to put the photograph on screen in just a moment. So please bear with us. Let me try and see if I could also go through some of your WhatsApp messages. And one of the messages, and it reads there, please bear with me, just try to locate as many of those messages as possible. Okay, somebody says that Tim, once a vehicle hit one of the cattle in shock and took it home as compensation, you know, the owner of the cattle, Mr. C, was in the bushes hiding. Followed the person home and demanded his cattle. Can you imagine this? Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says that, Tim, this morning at 4:05 driving heading to work, there was a family of cows just relaxing by the shock roundabout, and to my amazement, a cow decided to lay down in the middle of the road. Another WhatsApp message, and it reads, they don't respond to the underground leaks. The bill are high. The reconnection fees are as highest $100. Ridiculous. Referring there, of course, to the water and sewage company. And let's see there. Okay, let's show the photographs now. Okay, you have the photographs on, Mr. Technical Producer. So somebody says, the person who sent me the photograph of those the damaged vehicle, his damaged vehicle. This was my car, damaged by a cow. The owner denied it was his. I got nothing. I had to fix my car on my own. And lots of dents to prove that it got into contact with something. But that individual is claiming came into contact with cattle. This was my car, damaged by a cow. The owner denied it was his. I got nothing. I had to fix it on my own. So if the person denies that's denying that it's their cow, well, just take possession of the animal. It's not yours. Just take possession of it because your vehicle has been damaged. But this is very, very serious, and maybe NewsSpin needs to mount a campaign really in a sustained manner to ensure that the authorities act upon this problem, because yes, we are showing photographs of vehicles being damaged, but people can also be damaged and they can lose their lives in the process, Kimani.
Are you serious about that campaign, Tim?
Yes, I think it's worth undertaking because nothing has been done about it. I mean, you realize the number of WhatsApp messages we've received, the discussions in the chat room, the photographs, the evidence that's being provided to us. So if the authorities do not want to do anything about it, then we need to force them to take action. We need to embarrass them into doing something.
Someone says, let's see in the chat. Well, that's it for me, Tim.
Right.
Nothing in the chat.
Let's turn our attention now to Mr. Acting Inspector of Police, Mr. Zachary Hippolyte. He was on last evening's Newsmaker Live program, and he focused on a range of issues. One such subject would have been bullying in the island's schools. Let's listen and watch as well.
Just recently, Tim, I believe there was talk about a hair policy. Am I correct? And that's all well and done. I believe it's needed. But I keep saying to myself, even before there's an issue about the hairstyle, bullying has been a perennial problem. It has been there for a long time. Policy, it's needed. It's needed. And I'm tired of seeing a lot of victims, girls and boys, recalled to the schools, or they come to our department and they have this sense of hopelessness. So you tell us to go to the teacher, go to the principal. So we do that and nothing happens. Sometimes we are told, okay, we'll call in the parents or whatever. No meeting, nothing happens. So I agree. We need a policy on bullying, something to guide the ministry, the police, the school, that if a child has made a report, sometimes that we find is not grave enough.
Considered to be trivial.
Yeah, considered to be trivial. You know, he keeps troubling me, or he keeps calling me names, and you could see that child is deeply affected. That there must be some form of standard operating procedure that needs to be enacted to address that child's concerns along with their parents. It's needed. It's overdue.
But why do you think there isn't such a policy? Because it was just recently the education minister did say that there would be no tolerance, zero tolerance of acts of bullying in the nation's schools. So how do you determine that this will not be tolerated without setting the guidelines and policy direction and so on?
I don't know how that. I don't know. You need a guideline. You need a policy, because with a policy, then we're all on the same page. It is with operating procedures that we know what to do if something occurs. So schools, when it comes to discipline, I don't believe should be operating in isolation. We must have a standard policy, and I'm praying for it. It's important, Tim, and I'm making a call for it. For those in authority, let's come together and make this policy happen, because we have too many. Most times, Tim, what the teachers would resort to, or the principals, is to reassign the student, the affected student, to another class, or probably the perpetrator, if you want to use that term, or that's a strong term, to another class. But they're still in the same school, and they. So it's not enough. It's not enough. We need to come together. We need that policy. I'm begging. It's overdue.
Acting Inspector, Police Inspector, that is Zachary Hippolyte. He was my guest on last evening's News Make a Live broadcast. Let's take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
What a coincidence, Tim.
Good afternoon, sir.
A second, I'll come back to it. Zachary. You know, I want you to know, in case you don't, and while the show is going on, I get a lot of WhatsApp messages from all over the place, either thanking me, God will bless you, and all that kind of stuff, etc., etc. I want, as much as I appreciate all these nice things and the good wishes and whatever, I would like my fellow listeners to understand that I would much prefer to see them thanking me for whatever wonderful work they think I'm doing, but not to call and tell me how great I am or how wonderful. I would like to see them, if they like what I say so well, to embrace those things.
Rick, you're sounding a little muffled.
I sound a little muffled.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my.
Yeah, it's a little better now.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Instead of thanking God for me being here and the number of years I've had, I would like them to show the appreciation, if it is genuine, by acting, Jim, by acting, and not just by calling you on the word keeps coming up, masturbation. I've been going through this for 40 years, St. Lucian masturbation. St. Lucia has to change. St. Lucia has to improve. But St. Lucia will neither change or improve with prayers or leaving it to God or writing me notes, as much as I appreciate that. It will not change in that. St. Lucia must take action on the things that are obviously wrong. And at this point, and counterproductive, I hate the right and wrong words, counterproductive. And at this point, I would like to say something in favor of Lisa Joseph. Lisa Joseph is the only functioning journalist in this country, you know.
I would like to add another name to this.
There's a young reporter you had at DBS, by the way. I think I really like her demeanor and the way she asks the questions. no smiling, no. She's
Zane
very
Romulus.
serious.
Zane Romulus.
Well, I don't remember Romulus, but she's been around a while.
Yeah,
and deserves some credit too.
She's the one
And
who's
all of
been.
them are
She's the one who challenged the prime minister when he said that
all
the
of them
reporters
seem
are
to
doing
be
the
coming
work
from
of the
one-
opposition.
And all of them seem to be, oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them seem to be coming from one media house. You know, and so I might as well also say, boy, while everybody's praying for me to be around a little longer, Linda Dyer, Tim, what a hero. I've asked various governments, petitioned various governments to give Linda Dyer an award to honor her. And it's not just for the media thing. It's for the way she, what's the word I'm looking for right now? Philanthropy. You know, she's a philanthropist. She's helped so many people. I remember when those Chinese students were marooned here, remember?
Yes.
She gave them a room space. She fed them. She's not just involved in the media, and she's definitely not openly involved in any politics. All those years, I have no idea where Linda Dyer stands on the politics. Do you?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't, no.
Okay. Well, I don't know where she stands, but I know the work she has done consistently. She's never discussed any party politics with me in all the years I've known her. So perhaps it's the whole media house there that deserves the praise. But Lisa in particular, and like you said, Ron, they're very, very deserving of recognition by the people of St. Lucia. I don't expect, because it so depends on who is in office when people are acknowledged, you know. It so depends on that. But Lisa Land deserves that. So let me get to the cops now. Were you not embarrassed last night a little bit for our situation while you were interviewing Zachary?
Our situation meaning what?
Crime and the police and the government. I mean, I asked Zach a number of questions, and he could not. I mean, he couldn't even give me diplomatic answers to him. And I don't say that putting him down. I'm just saying that he's being careful. The higher you get in that police force, the less you're able to speak. You realize that?
He has to be extremely careful. I mean,
careful about what, Tim?
In terms of what he says, and I'm not speaking for Zach.
Careful about what is he careful about?
What he says, how he responds to certain questions, because.
What do you mean, if I may be so bold?
No, I'm just.
What you mean is he's got to be careful how he responds for fear of repercussions.
Repercussions, and also,
that's the point.
And also, you're talking about national security issues as well. So he has to
we
tread
have no
cautiously.
national security issues. None. We don't have army. We don't have any national security. What we have is a police force that malfunctions, people dying, courts that don't work. Nobody gets it done. We have no national security issues. There are no issues that the police cannot talk to us about in one way or another. The guy actually, at the end of the show, Zach was praising his commissioner and so on and so on. And I wondered the necessity for that on a show like yours. I almost felt he had spoken too much, and he was to make sure you won't be offended by what I'm saying there. But when I asked him about the defendant's case, you know, he couldn't give us any new answer from what we already know or don't know.
That is
when I asked
no.
him,
That question should have been posed to the island's police commissioner if she's available. If she appears on a show.
You don't have to defend Zach.
No. It's not me defending. I'm just saying, horses for courses. There are certain things, certain issues relating to policing in St. Lucia that certain police officers are not in a position to answer.
Allow me to disagree. First of all, when somebody spoke about management, you spoke about it. He included himself. He said, I have to include myself. I am management. He said that, you remember?
Yes.
So when he comes on the show, he represents the whole body police force. When any police officer who comes on your show represents the whole damn police force. So as much as I love Zach, and I think he's big enough to take it's not a criticism of him. It is an observation of the situation we're living in. That a high-ranking officer like Zach comes on a show, and he cannot give us vital answers for fear of repercussions. That's the point I'm making, and you are being nice diplomatic to yourself.
I'm not being. I'm just being as honest as possible on this
Zach
particular
could
issue.
tell
I'm
us
not being
nothing.
diplomatic.
Zach loved it when one woman called to say certain aspects of Mr. Countryman's thing were not true.
And before you get into that, you know what can happen to some police officers. Before you know it, certain words will be attached, reference will be made to certain comments, how they responded to certain things like replacement and new vehicles, etc. Because you heard the Prime Minister saying this.
Well, what you are telling me.
You also heard the Deputy Prime Minister singing from that same hymn book as well, saying the same thing.
Those things for me, Tim, are just grass by the wayside. Playing games with what replacement means or gives me, no matter what. I thought the replacement thing, whoever originated it wasn't much of a point anyway, because nothing wrong with replacing vehicles, except to make it strong that those vehicles don't add up to anything additional because they're taking the place of other vehicles. So that if we have 10 vehicles and 4 of them get screwed up, getting 10 vehicles now doesn't mean you've done anything new. You've just gone back to your 10. I understand that, but that is all, toffee by the wayside. I'm talking about life and death. And Zach could not tell us anything about the Arnold guy, the kid, 17-year-old, who was shot in a car, and no charges have been laid. We don't know how the guy died, except that he was shot by the police. Zach could not answer that. Zach could not tell me why we have no information.
Rick, that is the responsibility of the nation's top cop.
Yeah, but I'm about to tell you, Tim, for the second time, that when Inspector Zach comes on your show, he comes there representing the whole police force.
And I brought him I brought him there to speak on specific certain subject areas.
Well then, my dear friend, you're shortchanging us. Because
No. Rick, I disagree with you. I'm just saying that I invited. I invited the police officer on, and I gave him an idea of some of the issues I'll be discussing. And it did not include. It did not include Arnold. It did not include the Freitas.
All right. So Tim, you're telling me among the issues, the most pressing one, the matter of so many people who have been killed without resolution, the number of cases that are sitting there unattended to, etc., the future safety of the country, the fear that we live under was not a number one priority for a leading officer on our show, or maybe
I'm saying to you,
and I know the difficulty in getting certain people to come on the shows if you are going to ask particular questions. I know that as well. You probably would not get that if you had told him I want to discuss in detail. But then what happens when a caller who made no deal with your guest, who thinks that your guest is there to answer any question, what happens when that caller calls and is given diplomatic answers because the police officer or whoever it is on your show has made a deal with the host?
It's not a deal. No, Rick. No. It's not anything like a deal. What I'm saying to you,
arrangement?
No. There an agreement. There are instances.
Agreement? Now you sound like Mr. Replacement.
What we are failing to understand is that your police commissioner must make frequent appearances on talk shows like Newsmaker Live to answer wide-ranging questions. That is her responsibility as the island's police commissioner. She's responsible for the entire police force and the security of the state. So it is unfair to be asking all those questions of somebody like an acting inspector, Arnold, and all kind of other cases.
I would love
and those
to watch
questions,
your chat room.
Those questions you can put to the police commissioner. The same obtains for the agriculture minister or the tourism minister, the education minister, pertaining to certain issues affecting the country. Compared, Rick, to if you invite the prime minister of the country to answer all those wide-ranging issues.
Tim, we don't have choices in this country. Everybody in this country knows that no government minister is going to come on the show to accept it totally sick. We all know that. That's horrific. And I'm going to put it to you another way. Could Zach have said, in line with what you're saying, because I'm playing with the words now. Could Zach have said, well, Tim, as much as I would like to tell you about what happened with the operators or whatever, I can't because that is the responsibility of the commissioner. Tim, I'm sorry, as much as I would like to talk to you about that, the responsibility of the commissioner. How would that sound to you that any police officer, banking especially, who comes in, what he expects to get are questions from the public that disturb them, and nothing is more disturbing than the life and death issues that we are facing right now. And his answer.
Okay, well, in the chat room, Zach is also saying that he's not the officer in charge of crime, and that's a relevant response. That's a great appropriate response.
Zach, well, I'm saying to Zach, I'm sure Zach appreciates what I'm saying there, by the way, but I'm saying to Zach that it's a hell of a thing, knowing what the major issues of crime in the country are, that he would come on the program and not expect to take calls from callers regarding that particular life and death subject.
No, Rick, I think the audience is more sensible than that. They don't expect that Zach will be in a position to answer every matter, every issue pertaining to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
Tim, I did not say every matter. I said I fully expected a police officer of Zach's ranking would be able to tell me something, no matter how he puts it, something. Because don't forget, when you go to the police headquarters and whatnot, and you talk to regular police officers, what they can answer, and the answer always is it's with the DPP, or it's under investigation, or it's that. So we never get the commissioner saying that. So the matter is, I'm not in charge of crime, therefore I have no idea. But yet he's talking about how many people should be on the streets, the shortcomings of the police and so on. I don't want to make it sound like I'm giving Zach. Zach has been a great police officer, a do-gooder guy. I even asked him, why the hell are you wasting your time in the police force? At one time I asked him that. So this is not knocking Zach. But we are getting answers from nobody. And now we are accepting.
You are looking in the wrong direction, Rick. Look to the island's police commissioner. No, Rick. Rick, you are listening. You are looking in the wrong direction. When was the last time? When was the last time? When was the last time you ever heard from the island's police commissioner those questions? When was the last time?
Well, that would be wrapped up in an answer from Zach. That's what I'm telling you. Like, if that is the problem, Zach could have said, well, those are questions the commissioner can answer. But police officers should be able to answer questions on matters of shootings and so on, not the delicate detective court things. But they can tell you, they can give you an answer, a comforting answer. Because last night I spoke to him about the palpable fear in this country of people going out, women not being out after 7 o'clock and so on and so on. And it's a damn shame that the government, but yet again, that's what happens on controlled press conferences. And that is why some governments, especially this one, would have these press conferences on strictly controlled circumstances. By the way, I am blaming the government for doing that, because that's what they do. But it is for us to push past that, like Lisa does, like Romulus does. It is for us to push it, not accommodate it. Because those things that only the commissioner can say this when you know damn well she's not available to anybody.
But that's the issue. She ought to be available, Rick.
Yeah, but
she's not available. She ought to be available.
That will only come out when I put the question to Zach that people are afraid in this country because they know nothing about the criminals. They have no idea what happened to the people who killed those people. We keep hearing a lot about rehabilitation. What happened to the killers of all those people in Beaufort and before? What happened to those killers? What happened to all these pending cases? What happened to the Leon case? You want to tell me that a ranking officer like Zach must have the permission of the commissioner to God, then let's put her on the spot during the show. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Rick. Thank you. Why has St. Jude Hospital gone to the dogs, cows, and goats? Why has St. Jude gone to the dogs, cows, and goats? This is on our NewsSpin Facebook page, and we have some of the comments there. Our NewsSpin news of the day. NewsSpin news of the day. The World Health Organization confirms first death in Mexico from bird flu never seen in humans. The World Health Organization confirms first death in Mexico from bird flu never seen in humans. And still to come, Phillip, F-I-L-L-I-P. That word, by the way, means anything that tends to rouse, excite, or revive. A stimulus. So we're playing on that word, Phillip. And we also have P-H-I-L-L-I-P, Phillip, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Let's watch and listen as T.C. Brown plays on the word Phillip, F-I-L-L-I-P.
I remember Masha, if you please, used to be the capital of Castries, the mecca of sports and entertainment, cradle of heroes, blessed with talent. Through thick and thin, Masha folks remain adamant. Philip J. Pierre is the man they want, even though they know is he who presides through their rapid slide and dented pride. Now Masha need Philip more than ever to re-emerge with the zeal to prosper. More stimulus and incentive to give us impetus to wake up and live. Philip, why up to a day like today? Nisha Masha, Kika Sevi Bache, and presidents that hold down a job, I pray to creditors that choke and rob. Bloody feuds and deadly gang wars for term already diminish Masha's love. Philip, don't fall asleep at the wheel. Philip needed for sports and diamond steel. Philip, my dear, we know you care. Show us you sincere. Philip, my dear, fais meilleur, pas quitter Masha derrière. Où c'est mettre gouvernement, faire mouvement vitement. Plus Philip, qu'aille pousser Masha devant. Philip is a stimulus to give Masha impetus. Philip is an incentive to help us wake up and live. Philip, Masha Bouisin, Philip, Masha Bouisin, Philip. But tabaya, to tip tap, baya baya, hey, tabaya, baya. Philip for all on sundry, guarantee to protect the victory. Focus on those COVID devastated, and up to now can't recuperate. Some people for years job hunting in vain, frustrated they're not looking again. Others carrying water in basket. The wage they get can't balance their budget. How could such families live healthily when healthy living is so costly? More Philip for families like these could help them combat lifestyle diseases. Philip, please discover Mali ways back. Don't allow us to slip through the cracks. Even if there's a minimum wage, Mali we can't manage the mortgage. NIC and CIP can ease the stress. In truly low-cost housing, they must invest. Malawi welcome the Philip from Saudi. Nuni Espoir, St. Jude Sky Fini Bati. Philip, my dear, we know you care. Show us you sincere. Philip, my dear, fais-moi bakite Malawi d'ailleurs. Où c'est mettre complètement, faire mouvement vitement. Play Philip, kay pousse Malawi devant. Philip is a stimulus to give the poor impetus. Philip is an incentive to help wake up and live. Philip, Malewe Buize. Philip, Malewe Buize.
Tizzy Brown with a track called Philip, F-I-L-L-I-P, something that arouses, that would excite, to revive. It is a stimulus. He says that Marsha needs Philip. Okay, so don't get it wrong, because in the chat room somebody's saying outside, outside. Because for them, he's saying Marsha needs Philip, the man, the MP. But it's F-I-L-L-I-P. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. My name is Timothy Poleon saying goodbye and see you next time.